What's good, y'all? It's another week, another geek, man. We took one week off, you know what I'm saying, just because it only made sense. Not only did a lot of stuff end this past week, but this is one of the more lighter months for movies. But next month is finna go crazy. But man, this episode 93 of the Why I'm Geek show with your boy G and ChrisyLite. And the title of today's episode is Homecoming. Homecoming. You know why? Because dads are bringing kids home, man. Chris, congratulations. Congratulations. Y'all didn't peep the last episode. Chris finally told everybody he's going to be a dad and everything went smooth. And, you know, we lit. And today we're going to be covering another dad. And this is the wait. The Mandalorian season finale. It's lit.
I like that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So just to start off, man, like, before we break down the finale, man, what is your overall thoughts of just like this season? You know, because a lot of people, it's like, I actually did a poll on it, and a lot more people said they love this season more than I thought, because I thought a lot more people thought it was gonna be mid, you know, based on what we already seen in the past too. But what are your thoughts?
My first thought is I can't wait for my son to watch Mandalorian with me. I ain't gonna lie, I thought about that when I was watching the finale. I was like, dang, a little kid would love like this, all of this. It's so actiony. And I'm agree with the with you.
Yeah.
I kind of think it was a mid-season.
Yeah.
I think they lost a little bit of Mando spark. Some shiny Beskar armor from season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
And this one just came out a little mid. I think mainly had to do with them not sure how to navigate this storyline with the Darksaber, like what they want to do with it exactly, and then how they wanted to treat Mando redeeming himself from taking off his helmet. I kind of felt like those two storylines could have had like a much more impactful just impact on the season. And they kind of quickly got brushed aside, even to the point where, you know, the Darksaber just got destroyed. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Like,
after all that,
after all that, and even him like saying it's too heavy for him to wield, I just thought there was going to be this big conclusion. But that could just be me overthinking and overhyping just the Star Wars universe. But overall, it had a good finale episode. But the season as a whole, there's just something about it that they're setting up things in the past or trying to link stuff that it just made the season a little bit mid to me. But you think it's mid too, G?
Yeah, I think the overall season is mid, but it has its high moments, right? Like a lot of the episodes for season 3 were kind of like just background and like not much was happening. We was getting a lot of like dope conversations, but like as far as like what we came to, you know, the Mandalorian to see is the bounty hunter, right? That, you know, start off with just him by himself, and we get to see him, you know, become who he is. But then it's this little tag along, you know what I'm saying? And then that tag along turns into something bigger, right? And we're so used to seeing him like either fighting to get Grogu back, or like them having like this motivation that's like clear but like simple and, you know,
complete a mission.
Yeah, and it was more so about like the spectacle of like, okay, how is he going to get out of this, or how is he going to fight 15 different people when, you know, he lost his blaster and he's in this specific situation. Very like James Bond and, you know, like Mission Impossible type vibes. Whereas like now with this season, they add a lot more lore of like, if you're a lot more aware of like, where we're at in the Star Wars universe as far as the timeline and as far as like all the other properties and shows that have gone on. We got a lot of different cameos in this joint, but they weren't impactful. They were just more like show and tell, like Easter egg type things. Like if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So like if those things led to more, I might have been on the side of like, okay, I'm starting to really like this, but it's like it's at the end of the day, it's still Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? So like they don't really drop the ball, but like it's just because of like the pedestal we got them at. It's just like this joint was like mid. Like it wasn't the best season to me at least. But yeah, man, like you hit one of the first points I wanted to talk about, which was like how Dan is just not the same anymore though. Like he's definitely softened up as far as like his approach because he's more worried about Grogu. But for me, it's just like it just never really seemed like he was fully there this
Yeah,
season.
it's
You
something
know?
there that like what you're talking about. You kind of wait every episode to really feel like Mando's there, and it's like
Yeah.
something is getting lost this season,
Right.
and I can't place my thumb on exactly what it was when I was watching it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if it's just like the angle of the season in which they wanted to tell like a story encompassing like how there's multiple Mandalorians and
Mm-hmm.
them doing this all for Mandalore, and of course, like at the end of the episode, we get them lighting the forge again.
Mm-hmm.
So there definitely is some theme on like uh a
Redemption.
Mandalorian is like multiple people, all
Yeah.
of them. But yeah, Din just gets lost a lot, and it just makes me think like maybe I should watch season 1 and season 2 of The Mandalorian again because I really really enjoyed those seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And when I watched this season, it was just kind of like okay,
Yeah.
okay. And I think you did tell me that they're gonna do a season 4, so
Mm-hmm.
um I just hope we get back to whatever they used to do. Maybe they set up for a spectacular next season.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like at the end of the episode, we're just at a reset of Grogu and Mando.
Yeah. I think this season was more like building upon the actual like mythos of everything that's happening right now after Order 66. Because I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the second season of The Mandalorian opener is something I'm never gonna forget because it was like he was in his bag and he had the dark saber and it was our first time seeing him really use it and at a capacity, and it was like overwhelming enemies. The music was going crazy. It was dark. It was like he was Batman but he had a sword. Like it was a lot going on that made the Mandalorian like super hype, right?
Yeah, we leveled up. We had Super Saiyan
Yeah,
now. I'm trying to see what it does.
right. And then in this season it was like we're gonna give you a little bit of action every episode,
Yep.
but we got to serve you this overall narrative so that what we do next will make more sense, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm not
it's a little
mad
too
at
heavy.
that. Yeah, I'm not mad, but it's like that's not what the Mandalorian is supposed to do. And I'm hoping that with the fourth season we'll get back to what we used to do. And then because Grogu is way more capable now, you know, or
Yep.
well, let me not say way more because he can
I mean,
definitely use like hold his own now, but
he
it's
definitely
just
learned
like
something from Luke. He
right,
definitely. I was
right.
wondering if he learned anything, but
Yeah. So it's like there's that, but it's also like, we can actually start seeing him do more of the bounty hunter solo dolo missions that were like, one man versus 100 type thing that we love to see. And it'll be like more so about how every day is a new adventure type thing rather than this overarching narrative that Din Jar, well, I can't say his name. Din Djarin
then
is
Jaren.
not built to service as the main character because he's not a very outspoken person. He has the things that he cares about, and that's it. Like he's not like I feel like Bo-Katan was more of a main character this season than
I mean, yeah, that may
Mando.
be the issue. Like Mando's entire role is more in this season is just like learning about becoming a Mandalorian and oh, this is what we want to do. Okay, I'm a part
Mm-hmm.
of it. But then you're
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, oh, Mando's just a part of this season, not
Yeah.
really.
Like if the show was called Mandalorian, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be mad. But the show is called The Mandalorian.
Ah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like he is the one. Like
And season 1 to season 2, you make
you
it
feel
feel like
that. Yeah, you
yeah, like
feel
dang,
that.
this dude got the dark saber. He
Hmm.
got Grogu. He got all him getting all of his armor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
made it feel like, yo, this is a different type of Mandalorian we're watching.
Right.
And like this season, it kind of bothered me that it felt like they wanted to go in a different direction, but we
Hmm.
don't know what that direction is until the future. But I just felt like we were getting one of the best Star Wars characters that had no connection to anything,
Yeah.
and now he's becoming a little dulled down back to uh uh what's that word? He's getting nerfed from
Yeah.
season 2. And I'm like, but it could still be really good. It's just
Yeah.
dang, you we were about to be top.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's like it's one thing to like always have something like cool in your back pocket that we just ain't seen yet. Like in the finale when Bo-Katan used the knee rockets. I was not expecting that, right? But I really think it's just because like almost every fight that um then fought this year, I said this season, he lost. Like he was not
It was
winning.
yeah.
He was getting bodied. He was getting tossed around from left to right, and I
He beat
just
the guys in the hallway though. That was his
man, that
highlight.
don't count, bro.
Yeah,
He's getting
he beat
tossed around from different freaking pirates to like the little monsters on Mandalore. Like he just was going through it. Like that second time he really had to like take his helmet off and show his face really messed him up.
Mhm.
Like when he had to put his face in the little scanner thing, like that killed him. And even when he got redeemed, he ain't been the same.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just like a heavy point to like really really talk about because like we said, like the show is called The Mandalorian, not Mandalorian, or Mandalore. Like, let's get back to what we good at, Not to say that none of the stuff that we saw was good because I do like, that's going to the next thing I want to talk about, like was like the hints of the First Order and all the different
Yep.
lore portions that we got on Coruscant and
Even like Project Necromancer that they was
right.
talking about, and kind
Hmm.
of seeing how the whole cloning process worked. I mean, they're trying to link this to how Snoke and Palpatine returns,
Right.
and it's definitely breadcrumbs, but it just feel like it bogged down the season a little bit. So I
Yeah.
I think I see where they're going.
Right. I feel like if they didn't bring Moff Gideon back, we're in a
Oh yeah.
way different position at this point.
Oh, it'd have been a bad season, bro. I think
Yeah.
it'd been
He
ugly
really
because
saved it. Like he really saved it because at that point it's like, okay, what are we doing?
yeah.
Like there's no real like the biggest thing we fought is pirates so far, and you give us these random um post Empire like not reconstruction but like what's the word uh dang I cannot think of it where you take one person that used to be one thing and try to fix them like I don't know what the word is like oh man what do they say when you go to jail you're getting
Rehabilitated.
rehabilitated. There we go. Thank you.
Oh, okay,
Thank
okay.
you. Yeah, we getting all these rehabilitated Empire people with, spies in the midst and like things like that and not be main focuses of, a whole episode.
Yeah.
And then we get to see, the Mandalorians for like who they are as a people on different sides too. So it's like they're definitely doing something. I'm not gonna sit here and say like it was a waste of time because I still enjoyed most of what we saw. But you know, I think the biggest thing that they teased, other than Moff Gideon, creating clones to use the Force, was the talk about Thrawn. You know what I'm saying? Grand Admiral Thrawn. If you've seen Star Wars Rebels, you already know this man is a menace. And um, as far as like when the next time we're going to see him, or the first time we're going to see him, is most likely going to be in Ahsoka. Just because if you see the trailer, like, he's literally right there.
Oh, did they mention in the trailer?
Yeah, like you see him, like you see the back of his head, if I remember right.
Dang, I need to rewatch this
Like
trailer.
they don't show like his blue skin, but they show like that's gonna be him, most likely. So the way they spoke about him and like his ultimate return is like, you talk about Palpatine and Darth Vader, like on that level, not as far as power wise, but just like infrastructure and like who is the real leader of things.
Yeah,
You could tell, yeah, like he's definitely going to be a problem. So like I really did enjoy those moments, and even though they were like, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to get me excited for what's next. Just because, like, man, I can't say this enough. Y'all ain't seen Star Wars Rebels, man. It's a must watch. Like, I know it's animated. I know the lightsabers look funny, but it's good.
They do.
It's good. But yeah. So like, what did you think of just that part of it?
Oh yeah, I definitely see them setting up stuff, and I'm wondering if they really want to use the Mandalorian or Mando as like this crossbreed character that connects multiple stories. Like we already
Yeah.
saw him enter, I believe it was Boba Fett, right? He had an
Mm-hmm.
episode in there.
All right.
I'm just wondering, like maybe in Ahsoka we get a single episode where he helps out
Return
Ahsoka.
the favor. Yeah.
Yep, return a favor, and we get back to another Mando season later on because
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like we wrapped up the entire season 1 to 2 arc with the Moff Gideon stuff, that we're at a fresher start,
Yeah.
and now with all of these like brickwork or groundwork that they did this season that bogged down the season. I'm just wondering where this foundation is leading to. Is it going to be in Ahsoka? Is it going to be in a season 4 of Mando, or are we really just tying up storylines that I'm not quite understanding
Mm-hmm.
for the future? Because they got a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah. I'm hoping like best case scenario is the Deadpool effect. We'll just start seeing him in different cameos and random spots
Yeah,
because he's living the life of a bounty hunter. So he can just, always pop up at any moment, just to not necessarily mess things up, but as that, like, oh, you was not expecting to see him here, you know?
yeah.
And it'll be a dope thing to see. Um
And
but
maybe on the big screen, maybe he'll just be like one of those side characters, and
yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh man, that's bad."
But it's like at the same time, bro, he just be losing everything.
Yeah.
Like that's really frying me. Like I'm really thinking about like how he started and gaining all these different tools leading up
Getting
to the
armor, bro.
lightsabers. Yeah, all the different trophies and stuff. And then now that man lost every piece of his armor, his gauntlet, all that stuff. He broke. He broke. He just got a jetpack and
That's,
Grogu.
how, that's why we gotta keep watching.
He gotta lock in. He gotta lock in.
He got locked in.
Oh man, but next let's talk a little Grogu, man. Let's talk a little Grogu. What do you see for Grogu in the future, bro? It's
I'm
tricky.
just glad they finally showed some good stuff, some
Yeah.
force bubble, because I was wondering like, dang, we may never see this dude like talk
Yeah.
or anything really. And I'm like, it's
Hmm.
cool that it was cool that he was learning the force and all, but we really want to see him grow up and figure out what's his greater role in the Star Wars universe. And
Right.
if it's just being Mandos, like they're just the pair, they're the pact, that's cool.
Hmm.
But it was just like I feel like the same thing with Mando. Grogu
Yeah.
went from learning potentially being a Jedi, potentially just being straight Mandalorian, him training to be a Mandalorian, all that stuff, and it's like, where
Hmm.
does his arc end?
Yeah.
And I'm just glad at least we saw some big force powers because I'm still believing
Yeah.
we're gonna get some crazier force powers in the future, but he's still just a young thing. And maybe one day they want to do a Star Wars jump into the future,
Yeah.
and Grogu's actually a legit character.
He could definitely get his own spinoff if he learn how to talk.
Yeah, like, do you think he'll talk ever?
I mean, he's already talking. Like he's communicating. Like he understands people,
No,
but he can't talk yet. Like so. Okay, so if y'all not hip, man, Grogu is an unknown being that we still have no idea what he is because before he had his name, or as far as like what we know, we called him Baby Yoda, right? And Baby Yoda or Yoda, I think was like 500 to like 600 years old, something like
900.
that. 900, 900, something crazy, exactly.
It's crazy.
And like as far as I think about dog years, every year, every regular human year is like 7 dog years, right? So for Grogu, it's like 50.
Yeah,
So we like, and I think they say he was like 150 or 100.
I think he is 50.
He's 50, so he's
Yeah,
one. He's literally one, y'all.
he's like one. Yeah,
So it's like his, and the Mandalorian is, he already old. So it's like they got time, but it's like, yo, I mean, what we gonna see? It's just we
yeah. It's
don't
just that,
know.
that itch to know what
Yeah.
is this dude's purpose, and that was the very beginning of like loving the Mandalorian. It was like, oh, this is
Hmm.
a cool show, and then it was like, wait, what what was in that pod?
Right.
And
Why
then it
they
was like,
choose that? Yeah.
Baby Yoda. Like
Yeah.
everyone was like losing their mind. Like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
and
crazy.
like, where'd he come from? And then later on, we see that he came from the Jedi Temple still. Like, he was there when
Hmm.
Order 66 went down, and it
Yeah.
just makes you like, this has to be important.
Yeah, it has to, because it's like, like the stuff he's doing is impressive, right? Like we
Yeah.
can't knock him. Like what that explosion that he used a force bubble to protect not only himself, right? Because he could have literally made it just for him, right? You could protect it two grown people, and we seen Moff Gideon disintegrate before our eyes, right? Allegedly, because
Allegedly.
he done came back twice now, but like we've seen other instances of Jedi, Master Jedi, you know,
Yeah.
like can't even do that.
Mhm.
Kanan could never. Like Kanan saved everybody, right? If you've seen Rebels, he saved everybody, but he couldn't save himself. And maybe, we'll get into like, well, not us, but like people that get into the whole like death battle and all this other stuff as far as like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
that circumference of this blast radius of that triangulated, like all that stuff, right? Like, wait,
How strong
I'm not.
they are.
We're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But if it's just from what we seen, Grogu was able to survive. And then he just had to sit down for a second, and he was good. Like
Mhm.
that's crazy,
And
right?
that's improvement too.
Yeah, because before anything he did, he just take a nap
Yep.
right
Knocked
after.
out.
Yeah. So, um, Grogu as a case study is just like, this will be ultimate storytelling if they figure something out with this man, because it's just like we're gonna be able to go back and just see where it all started, and they finally give
Exactly.
us this backstory, so we know that as well. It's just a lot they can do. I've already seen concept art of what he could look like when he's grown, with the Mandalorian armor, helmet, and then a random lightsaber. And it's like, did the I didn't get a chance to really really look as far as like the dark saber. Is it? You think it's completely gone? Because people rebuild lightsabers all the time.
See, I mean that's just a question too, because I just for this season
Mm-hmm.
and understanding the dark saber, I just wonder what's its actual purpose now, because it
Yeah.
kind of felt like it's a relic of the past and we
Mm-hmm.
no longer need it. But still, like, how did
It's a
the dark
lightsaber.
saber work? Was it a special kyber crystal in there? And like, can we get it back? Because to me, it was cool to have Mando wield that. And then if
Yeah.
it was too difficult for him, I would have thought it would have been the dopest thing for it to be Grogu's lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Yeah.
well, a man, a
That
Mandalorian
joint is
is
as
supposed to
tall as
go.
Grogu.
Yeah, true, true. Because Yoda had a smaller one. He had a smaller
Yeah.
one. But to me, it's just kind of like I kind of wish there was a greater purpose. Like, oh yeah, the dark saber was always supposed to be Grogu's,
Right.
and then or because we've seen that sword multiple times and a lot most of the time in the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have just been really cool for it to like, oh, Mando used it throughout all of his TV show, but
Right.
it actually was Grogu's saber in the
Right.
future.
Yeah. Or like they was able to save the crystal.
Like yeah, maybe like a
And
small shard, but I think
yeah.
normally like once it breaks, it's like toast. But
Right. But
um,
like maybe that's the only thing that survived in the blast or whatever. And it just
and
was.
it can only emit like a smaller, shorter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take
Like,
it, bro. There you
cause
go.
yeah,
Get this
something
man in
like
the
that.
Disney studio.
I don't know how you explain that, but that's just something that they could do.
Yeah, I hope.
Um,
I hope.
but it's like even like you think about that lore, and then you think about like how they just keep showing us the mythosaur. Like, what is that gonna do?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't even. When they showed it again, I was just
Yeah,
like, "Is this important?" Because like
right.
you showed it already,
You would think it would
and
come
then
back and help them or something. Like that'd be like the last resort or something. Like Grogu has a strong connection with it because he's a Jedi, or not Jedi, but he has the ability to use the Force, and they can
yeah,
connect with
Grogu definitely
animals and
felt in the
stuff.
water.
Yeah, but it's like at what could they have done to make that cool? Other than like it was cool
Yeah,
first seeing them. It was scary too, but just like yo, what are you doing under there?
yeah.
And I'm thinking it's a female too. My fault, but I'm thinking it's a female too because it's the only way it could survive is if it's a girl because then it can have
Like
a
it's a
baby.
girl that's gonna populate more mythosaurs, and they'll be.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what their grand plan with that mythosaur is. I still don't know what its meaning was. It seemed
Yeah,
like it didn't get touched on uh,
yeah.
after
Those
Boca
are
took
trying to say he used
over.
to ride though. That's
I
the whole
know.
thing. There's so many things about Star Wars. It's just like lost in the sauce of the lore.
Yeah,
It's
it
still
just makes
good.
me think maybe they just wanted to show it off because it's like a
Yeah,
lore thing, like a myth thing, and okay, now we're finally gonna actually
yeah.
uh show it.
They're
Like,
gonna need that. They're gonna need that House of Dragon budget. So they can get
yeah,
they get that
that's
joint in there
Grogu's ride.
on me. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Pulling up your Sweet 16. What?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Next thing. Next thing. Possibly last thing. Um, Din and Grogu settle in Navarro. That's where we end things off.
That's where we end.
How you feeling about that?
I'm 50-50 personally for me when it comes to a lot of this stuff. I think these are mainly the perfect endings, the perfect scenarios to end stuff.
Hmm.
Where
If we
it's
was to
kind of
never get
like,
nothing else.
yeah, like
Mm.
if we never got anything else, this is probably how I wanted it. I probably would have Mando take off his helmet yet again, just because it's such a big symbol for the
Yeah.
Mandalorian to take off his helmet,
Right.
and like there's a lot of stuff with taking off the helmet now that's like kind of gone out the wind with this
Hmm.
new order of Mandalorians. But yeah, take off his helmet, retire with Grogu, or them say like, okay, now we're going on adventures, and father
Hmm.
and son. But because like you're thinking, it just doesn't seem like it's ending. It just seems like um we're just on a reset.
Hmm.
It's a cool way to finish off a arc, finish off a little retirement, a little home stay before we start trying to ramp up a big storyline again.
Right.
So overall, I liked it. But it was a little weird to know if we ended the series or if we didn't.
Hmm.
And for me, it wasn't as clear. So how do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
I shed a tear because I
Okay,
was just
okay.
I was just happy. I was just
Yeah,
happy once he got adopted. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to cry. Like it was one of those moments for me, and it was just like perfect scenario as far as like we spent so much time on Navarro, and it's in a spot in the outer rim, where it's not necessarily like right in the mix of everything, but it seemed like they can get everywhere they need to, you know,
Yep.
without any issues. And as far as like they've already defended it multiple times, and the mayor of the town or whatever been asked them to replace the old sheriff that from the previous seasons went and did something else. I forgot what she did, but you know I think she's actually in the New Republic now. But yeah, I liked the way that ended, just because, like you said, it just capstone the whole season and what we've been doing. But it just has me like, yo, they need to bring it next time. Like
Yeah.
they gotta turn up. That's what it left me feeling like, because it's like, okay, we're gonna go on adventures. What do those things look like? Because we've already seen, Grogu starting learning some of the ways of being a foundling, and um, we saw the blue guy's son, officially become a Mandalorian, but we don't know what that's gonna look like for Grogu, and we don't know what still lies ahead of Din, because all the enemies that he has, stuff like that. So it's more so of a thing like, okay, if you're gonna end it anywhere, like I'm glad y'all finally didn't just waste this little nugget of like, we spent all this time here, might as well get a little spot, you know. And it just makes sense, and
Yeah.
that's somewhere that if anybody needs to find them that knows about it, they can, whether it's good or bad. It's just a good like home base. Like that was one of the things I really enjoyed about Rebels. I know I keep talking about it, but it was just because like they had their home world that, at least in, I ain't gonna say it. You watch the show. They had their home world that, they would go on adventures every episode, but every time, they had their home base to come back to, and, like reset, and it was just like it was a good content loop, and I feel like this season it was very scattered, but also like didn't make sense until we got to the end.
100%. Yeah.
Like it was just like, where are we going? We saw Lizzo and Jack Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing, bro? I also like the whole nod to Count Dooku from that Separatist a couple episodes ago. I really like that moment, because it's just like there's no good or bad guys in this. Well, there's definitely bad guys, but there's nobody's good or bad in Star Wars. Because of just like, that's the whole point of the show. It's just the Force. It just fluctuates, and what does this mean? I don't know. We're gonna find out. It's just like the more and more I think I know about Star Wars, they just keep on adding stuff, and it's just like I'm here for it. I'm just here to witness, you know. Um, but that's pretty much it for like the finale in the show. That's all I really had. Did you have any more thoughts about it,
No,
or where
no.
you want to see it go?
Like I said, it's a pretty mid season, but I
Yeah,
definitely think just because of what they're trying to set up. Um, but overall, Mandalorian is still a very good show. Glad I watched it. Not Definitely was more hyped when what was it, Book of Boba came out. I was like, dang, I can't wait for Mandalorian season 3 to come out. Like I need that now.
yeah,
But now that it's out, I was like, maybe it needed some more cooking or something.
yeah.
But maybe a nice little break, and season 4 we're gonna pick back up. We'll get a
Hmm.
little better. We'll get a little, probably a deeper storyline that deals with Thrawn, maybe, because I don't think that's getting resolved in just Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, season 3 a little mid. We'll see if it holds up in the future, if it grows and we appreciate it more.
Dang, is this the fall off?
If it's the fall off, there better not be a season 4. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because
don't try to redeem us, and then I'm really gonna have to be negative on a season 4, and that may be like the killer.
I feel like Star Wars really been on a little run though. You
Yeah,
know,
pretty decent shows. Yeah,
like pretty like some pretty good stuff. And then we got
the
Visions,
Marvel
Star Wars
effect.
Visions, and then the Marvel effect. The stuff be
Yeah,
so good we just can't see it. You can't
no, it's so good now. We're starting the
down the good
downfall of the
stuff.
sixes, the
Right,
fives.
right. Nah, that makes sense. That
No,
makes sense.
they can't do Ahsoka like
Um,
that, you know.
nah, Ahsoka's too good of a character. Like that's there's so much there. There's so much that they could tackle. Um, but yeah, I don't think. I think if Thrawn is the next big bad, I think it starts in Ahsoka, but I think it has to go to like movies.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Like with Thrawn, like himself, like I think that's worthy of a movie. I don't know what movie it would be, and I don't know what the
They're careful when it
next.
comes to Star Wars movies, though. Like
Yeah, I don't. I'm not saying it needs to be like another trilogy. We don't had
like a
enough
Star Wars
trilogies,
story.
but like
Yeah,
a
that'd
definitely
be
like
nice.
a yeah, like
Like
maybe
Han and Rogue One. That'd be nice.
right,
Or
exactly.
Solo.
Solo, yeah, Solo, yeah. I don't know about Rogue One, but yeah.
Oh, I love Rogue One over Solo.
Oh man, but yeah, that's all I got for this day. Chris, what you geeked about, man?
Me and you wearing the best colors in the NFL, the burgundy and
Oh, don't
gold.
put me in with that. I got this says Marvel. This says Marvel.
NFL draft this Thursday. I
Okay.
consume way too much NFL draft content throughout the year. Like I watch these players play and what they're good, what they're bad at, and then every time the draft comes up, big critic of these teams selecting these players, and I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? And my team is the worst culprit because majority of the time when I think they should take one player, they never take that player,
Mm,
and I just look
forever
at them.
trash.
I just look at them and think, why are you guys thinking this way? Like,
Yeah.
and like I said, I spend months
Yeah.
like as soon as this draft is over, I'll be scouting players that are going to be playing next year and who will probably declare for the draft. And it's just like
For fun, y'all.
for fun,
For fun. Not even no
thinking that
glory.
thinking that one of these players will end up on my team that will actually help change it. And every year it does not. Every year it has no effect
Oh
on their
man,
wins. So
that's
I'm
tough.
excited. It's always a fun thing to watch, and I just can't see where everyone goes and then what my team decides to pick. So,
That's
what you
tough.
geeked about, G?
Snowfall, man. Snowfall was amazing. I'm not gonna
Mm,
say too much, but it was like the perfect story. Like
okay.
there's definitely seasons of like where like there's episodes where it's like I'm not really feeling like that, but from like a character standpoint, we really get to see these people. Like it's like a case like a case study of human nature or like state of being. I don't even know a better way to describe it. That joint is just like it's crazy. It's crazy. I seen something today where I was like, dang, I forgot he said this. Like Franklin specifically. And he told us right there, like everything we needed to know, but we wasn't listening. We was just,
Mm.
going along for the ride. So if y'all haven't seen Snowfall, definitely check that joint out. I can't I don't think I could recommend a better show than that. Like Succession is good. I still ain't watched that this yet, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It got everything you need.
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you.
Yeah. Other than that, is there anything else?
Are you gonna go see Evil Dead?
No. That already came out, didn't it? Or come
Yeah,
out this
it dropped.
week. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. I pump faked on that
I
joint
heard,
super
heard it was
hard.
spooky.
Yeah, I haven't
So
watched any. I didn't even watch no reviews on it. That's how
uh,
spooked I am
yeah,
because I
I
just
heard it was
don't
pretty
even know.
spooky. So
I
I
don't
may have
even
to attempt to go see it. But
mm,
we'll see.
enjoy that because I can't do it. Oh, the other thing, Haikyuu.
Oh,
I finished
Haiku?
Haiku. I
Oh
don't know,
yeah.
the volleyball anime. You know, it's the one.
You finished it?
Finished the first season.
Oh, I was
First
about to
season.
say, I thought it
First
was like
season.
260, 280 episodes. It could be more.
I don't know. It's like 3 seasons that I've seen, at least three. Um, but that joint is good, man. I see what y'all is talking about. That joint is good. It's not good enough to make me want to go out there and get a cosplay like of that, but it's like I really enjoy. It really gives me those Saturday morning
Really?
like cartoon vibes. Like every episode is like, dang, I feel good about myself. Like,
Okay.
like it just like as far as like it can motivate you a little bit, but like also it's I'm really enjoying like the story because it's not about just one character. It's about like all like the whole team kind of. We get to see it play out, and anime can just make anything look cool, you know.
Yeah, they can.
Like, and it's really wild, bro. Like there was this one. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen like 10 episodes. I mean, I like it.
Okay,
I just always wondered, like,
how I
yeah,
finish it? Yeah,
yeah, do I finish this? Like, do I just
yeah.
keep going? Because sometimes, like, when you watch anime, you're just at night and you're just like, I gotta see the next episode, gotta see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, it was like a weird state where I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep tonight, and then I haven't resumed.
Right, like I literally started it this weekend because I finished all my shows. Like all the shows ended, you know, and we're just waiting for new ones to drop. But that in combination with like I watched this so much. I'm not even. I just watched the Demon Slayer episode. I'm not caught up on Hell's Paradise. Like there's so many things I still gotta watch that like I was just like, nah, I'm gonna just keep going. Like I was just
Really?
like,
That's
I was
good.
just keep going. And it was one more thing about that show, and I think it was no. I already said that anime can make anything look cool, but like now the next thing I'm looking at because it just popped up on my feed is biking anime. So now I'm just on the sports wave, bro. Like
Oh
I'm
man.
here for it because it's just like I never thought it was like dope, but oh, I know exactly what it was. But it was this one specific player on the other team that every time he served, he was like Michael Jordan, bro. Every time he served, the crowd got hype, and it was just like they was like, oh, and he threw the joint up, and he was flying, bro. And he said, wow, and he would just ace, and it was just like, yo, nah, he different. He different. And I was just like, I don't know why I get hype every time they do this. Like, how did this happen? You
Yeah.
know? Like I just didn't know I like volleyball. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just you learn something new every day. But yeah, that's definitely the thing I'm definitely most geeked about right now. I
That's
started
good.
the
I've
second
always heard
season.
it's very good. Like I've always
Yeah,
heard it's very good.
same. Like when I seen people actually cosplaying as them, I was like, no way, y'all really like that joint? That's not no shade, but it's
Yeah.
just like it's just not like the most like cosplay. Like if you got a cosplay or something, like I just wouldn't think that would be one of the things, you know. But I respect it now. I definitely do. But that's all I got, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in once again. Y'all been going crazy on YouTube. Um, one of our shorts got like 1,000 views in like a day, randomly. Like not randomly, but like I posted it and it was just like boom, it went crazy, and I was just like, okay, we gotta do more shorts. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're listening on your favorite audio platforms, definitely hit that like button. Give us a 5-star rating. Leave a comment. If you're listening to this on YouTube, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Yeah, and we'll see y'all next week, man. Stay geeked. Peace.
Later, y'all.